Hi, passionate Rangers FC fans. Welcome to Rangers Update, your dedicated source for all things Rangers. Before we dive in, we want to express our gratitude for your unwavering support. If you bleed blue, don't forget to subscribe, smash that like button, and let's strengthen our community. Now, let's get into the latest updates. A hearty welcome to our new followers. Your backing means the world to us. WATP, let's get to the news. Alright, let's get into this. And remember, this is the kind of story that sends shockwaves through Scottish football, the kind that gets pubs buzzing from Glasgow to Aberdeen. Word on the street, and I mean loud, unstoppable word, is that Thomas Partey, yes, that Thomas Partey, could be set to become the biggest signing in Rangers history. Now, we're not talking about just another big-name player coming to Ibrox to make headlines for a week and disappear. We're talking about a proven Premier League powerhouse, a player who's gone toe-to-toe with the best midfielders in the world, now being linked with a move to the blue side of Glasgow. You can imagine the scenes, can't you? Partey walking out onto the Ibrox turf, bagpipes roaring, fans screaming his name. It almost sounds too wild to be real, and yet, insiders are whispering that this could actually be happening. The idea alone is electrifying, a move that would instantly shift the balance of power in Scotland, maybe even in Europe. The Rangers faithful, who've long demanded ambition and star power, would finally have their wish granted in spectacular style. And you can bet Celtic fans wouldn't be sleeping easy if this went through. There's a sense of disbelief swirling through the Scottish football world right now, like everyone's caught between excitement and sheer confusion. How could Rangers possibly pull this off? We're talking about Thomas Partey, a player who's still got years of top-level football left in him, a man who's worn the Arsenal badge and played Champions League football. You'd think he'd be heading to Serie A or maybe the Saudi League for a massive payday, right? But apparently, sources close to the situation claim Rangers have been quietly, methodically working behind the scenes to make this happen. They've been selling a vision, a project, as the modern footballers love to call it, about building something historic, something that goes beyond just domestic trophies. Imagine Partey anchoring that midfield, dictating tempo, bullying opposition players with that calm authority he's known for. It wouldn't just be a signing, it'd be a statement, a declaration that Rangers are done being the underdog in European conversations. The financial side of it is still foggy, and nobody knows exactly what kind of numbers we're talking, but make no mistake, this kind of ambition is unheard of at Ibrox in recent years. Fans have already taken to social media, and it's absolute chaos out there. Some are losing their minds in excitement. Others are convinced this is just another overblown rumor, the kind that gets everyone talking and then vanishes overnight. But there's something different about this one. The tone, the way the whispers are spreading, the silence from certain club insiders, it all feels a bit too calculated, a bit too deliberate. It's the kind of silence that says, we're not denying it because there's something real here. Think about it. If this were nonsense, someone high up at Rangers would have shut it down instantly. Instead, there's been this careful dance around the topic, a refusal to confirm or deny. That's the sort of thing that fuels belief, that keeps fans refreshing their feeds every 5 minutes. And let's be honest, this is the exact kind of blockbuster move that would light a fire under Scottish football, putting Rangers right back in the international spotlight. The buzz around Glasgow right now feels like electricity in the air. You can't step into a cafe or taxi without hearing the same question. Is it true about Partey? For the older generation of fans, this moment feels like déjà vu, like the days when Rangers brought in global stars who could genuinely change the game. For the younger ones, it's almost surreal. They've grown up in an era where Scottish teams struggle to attract Premier League talent in their prime. If Partey walks through those doors, it'll smash that ceiling wide open. And for Rangers, who've been craving a symbol of resurgence, this could be the one move that shifts everything, commercially, competitively, emotionally. Imagine the jersey sales, the media frenzy, the European nights. It's the type of signing that turns doubters into believers and makes rivals nervous. There's even talk that Partey himself has been impressed by the intensity of the club's culture, the passion of the fans, and the promise of being the centerpiece of something legendary. If that's true, then Rangers have already done half the job. What's fascinating is how this potential signing blurs the line between fantasy and reality. Partey is not just a name. He's an identity, a symbol of strength and composure, a footballer who commands respect wherever he goes. For Rangers, landing him would be like announcing to Europe, "We're not just here to participate, we're here to conquer." And yet, there's a poetic sense of risk here too. Could a player of PARTEY's caliber truly adapt to the rough-and-tumble world of Scottish football? The pitches, the weather, the relentless pressure of the old firm rivalry. It's a world apart from the polished atmosphere of the Premier League. But that's what makes the rumors so thrilling. It's not just about money or marketing. It's about legacy, about ambition, about trying to rewrite what's possible for Scottish clubs in a modern era dominated by financial giants. It's the kind of story that makes even neutral fans stop and watch, hoping to see if football's magic still exists in its purest, most unpredictable form. Still, there's an undercurrent of doubt, and rightfully so. Football's rumor mill has burned fans before, and Rangers supporters have learned to guard their hearts. Until there's a photo of PARTEY holding up the shirt, nothing's certain. But that uncertainty only adds to the theater. Every small detail, a flight tracker, an agent's post, a no comment from a manager, becomes fuel for the fire. You can sense the anticipation, the cautious optimism turning into collective obsession. If it all turns out to be true, the Scottish Premiership won't just be watching a star arrive. It'll be witnessing a new era for Rangers, maybe even for the league itself. Imagine that first match at Ibrox. PARTEY leading the midfield like a general, feeding passes, breaking lines, silencing critics. It'd be a sight to remember, a story for the ages, and maybe, just maybe, the start of something extraordinary. Now, let's look at the ripple effects, because if this deal goes through, it won't just be about Rangers signing a superstar. It'll be about shaking the entire foundation of Scottish football. Think about the message it sends. For years, the conversation has been dominated by money, by how the Premier League and other big leagues have priced Scottish teams out of competing for top talent. But PARTEY's potential arrival flips that script entirely. It says that history, passion, and ambition still matter, that a club like Rangers can dream big and act on it. The implications are huge. Sponsors would flock back, media rights could spike, and suddenly, the Scottish League might not look so secondary anymore. PARTEY, with his global profile and leadership qualities, could be the bridge that brings international eyes back to Ibrox. It's not just about football, it's about brand, identity, and revival. Fans who've lived through the club's darkest days would see this as redemption, tangible proof that Rangers are back, not as survivors, but as contenders ready to reclaim their place among Europe's elite. And what about the dressing room dynamic? A player like PARTEY doesn't just walk into a team, he transforms it. His presence alone would demand a new level of professionalism, a new intensity in training, and a different mindset in matches. Younger players would look at him and realize what it means to perform at the highest standard every single day. Veterans would be challenged to keep up. That's the kind of cultural shift every manager dreams of. One player who raises everyone's game simply by existing in the same environment. Reports suggest that the coaching staff are already discussing tactical adjustments, imagining how to build the midfield around him. Can you picture it? PARTEY sitting deep, controlling tempo, freeing creative players ahead of him, turning defense into attack with one pass. It's beautiful football in theory, but even more beautiful in what it represents: ambition with purpose. Rangers would no longer just chase Celtic. They'd be rewriting the rules of the rivalry itself, setting a new bar for what Scottish clubs can achieve in the modern game. Now, there's no denying that this move would come with risk, financial and otherwise. Bringing in a player of PARTEY's stature doesn't come cheap. His wages alone could dwarf what most of the squad earns, and balancing that within a sustainable model would take finesse. But football has always been about boldness, about taking that leap when the moment feels right. And right now, Rangers are standing at the edge of something monumental. The board knows it, the fans know it, even the rivals know it. Sometimes, one signing can define an era, the way Gascoigne or Laudrup once did. PARTEY could be that player for a new generation, the heartbeat of a project built not just to win titles, but to reignite belief. It's not just about splashing cash, it's about investing in an identity, in a vision that says Rangers belong on the biggest stage. And when you think about it, maybe that's exactly the kind of gamble this club needs to take if it truly wants to reclaim its legacy. Before we continue, Make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. The potential impact on the league would be massive too. Celtic would feel the pressure immediately, forced to respond with a big move of their own just to keep up. Aberdeen, Hearts, Hibs, they'd all have to raise their standards. Suddenly, the Scottish Premiership wouldn't be dismissed as predictable or one-dimensional. Imagine Sky Sports, BT, ESPN all clamoring to cover games again, not just for nostalgia, but because world-class talent is actually playing here. That's what PARTEY represents, not just a signing, but a shift in perception. The global football audience, especially in Africa and Europe, would tune in to watch him. That kind of attention brings money, opportunity, and respect. It would push youth academies to work harder, coaches to innovate, and players to dream bigger. And for the fans who fill those stands week after week, it would mean hope, the kind of hope that makes cold, rainy nights at Ibrox feel like magic again. The other layer to all this is PARTEY's personal motivation. Why Scotland? Why Rangers? People close to him say he's been searching for something beyond money, a place where he can be a leader, where his influence matters. At Arsenal, he's had his moments, but maybe he wants to be the centerpiece of something more meaningful, something built around him. Rangers offer that stage, that history, that sense of purpose. He'd become an instant hero, not just for his talent, but for daring to take a different path. It's a romantic idea in a sport that's become so cynical. If PARTEY sees this as a chance to create legacy rather than chase a check, it could reignite his career in ways nobody expects. And let's face it, Scottish football loves a redemption story, the kind where a player finds his best self again, against all odds, in front of a roaring, relentless crowd that lives for every touch of the ball. And so, we're left with the question hanging in the air, like smoke over the Clyde. Will it actually happen? Nobody knows for sure, and that's the beauty of it. For now, it's a rumor, a tantalizing dream, a whisper that grows louder with every passing hour. But whether it's confirmed tomorrow or proven false next week almost doesn't matter. Because for the first time in a long time, Rangers fans are dreaming again, not about surviving, not about rebuilding, but about conquering. And that's what Thomas Partey's name has done. It's reignited passion, stirred debate, and reminded everyone that football, at its core, is about believing in the impossible. Maybe it's fantasy, maybe it's fate, but whatever it is, it's got the whole of Scotland talking. And that, in itself, is a victory worth savoring. Greetings, fans. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.